got a call, had to end the live for a minute. Restarted a different part. But I like to capture something in case something happens.
Thank you. 1819.
West Nichols, 15025 West Nichols, Family Dollar, for disturbance. They all trying to steal, causing a disturbance. Hey, man.
Disturbances. It's a Dodge Durango up there who's super impatient.
Her friend lives with. She's arguing since she's trying to get her things. Told her she has to give him $100.
MH1098. MH1098. Radio show is following Scout 672707 Milwaukee. That's what the copy. 820. Oh yeah, 612, your status.
Got a black Dodge Durango who's super impatient apparently.
Rebound 8203 Hartwell. Came in, no problem, upgraded to a FA 8203 Hartwell. Two males are arguing and fighting, one is on the body cutter. In 1821. We have you on 6438 Southfield. That's just there. She will call us when she found her father just at the location. The radio is 23 can have it. We'll get a phone on speed. We're waiting for those. 8 speaker. The radio is a 24 can have it. Just 14 and 15. Star 91 now. Copy. Priority 1 and 8 for 7 Mile and Woodbine. 7 Mile Woodbine, DVAD. That was assaulted a female in the middle of the street. Oh, it's a third party caller. Man, no problem. Open line. Operator screaming and hung up.
Hmm.
4701 East Nevada. Disturbance. Mel says him and his uncle are having a dispute over a car payment.
Hmm. Sounds like the nephew's using the car.
For a shortfall on paper.
Somebody got hit off the
3226.
road. Oof. Police ain't even there yet. This happened not too long ago. I'll squeeze in here.
Classic. That's going to be in conjunction with Lenore and 7 Mile. I should have called it same. Hey, green light. 3 year status on traffic.
Hold on, Joe.
Two one attached to traffic.
T1, full on team, please.
1828. 32.
Lamar. gonna be boarding bus 1541 Gratiot in the boys. One disturbance. Call state ex-girlfriend won't leave the premises. Wants her escorted away. Visuals, clear as an R. Go back there.
Damn.
Volunteering and re-volunteering as a priority 18910 period to Dynasty Liquor, panic duress alarm. 8910 period to Dynasty Liquor, panic duress alarm. Radio.
There's an ambulance coming through.
You complete your code there. I need your assistance for DVAD. It's going to be a 7-mile and warmer. 7-mile and warmer. For another subject, a female. So, guys, this is when you're around there, 1830. Over 4712. 4712, I got 19393 Poacher Red. 19393 Poacher Red Drive. That's for home mission 2. Sergeant Pete 870 is requesting. Got 85, I see. If you want to point out what it does for Prince and take photo. The report number is 25-709-0325. That's 4712 is get on information and we'll advise when en route.
We can back down. They all need infrastructure.
Yeah, Abraham, I'm looking at these figures now. This 15,025 West Link Nichols. Now trying to conceal cause of disturbance. A black male, 5'6" window, a black park with the manager.
In 12 at 8910, Puritan Dynasty Liquor for panic duress alarm. Might have any other units available. Yeah, 1833.
South Irony on scene.
The car with the equal bumper sticker doesn't use blinkers. The one in front of the truck right now. Bluetooth.
1283. Can I get a call back for the phone to step out? Can you get one?
Here.
It's 88126. If any units are heading this way, you could advise them to slow it down. We're secure, so.
He just about to 642. Make it go easy. Make it go easy. They are secure at the time. Location. Yes, 273.
I wish I just get it out here when it's pouring.
No, he was defeated. Delivery.
What's the name?
Cause I'ma never get it back from you.
What the fuck?
I can just get it, and I'ma never give it back.
I don't want that playing. Jeez, oh Pete's phone. Porter County over here in Indiana is getting a lot of accident calls, it looks like. For some reason it doesn't want to play over my radio. Bro, what? Why you slow down? Your guy's going pretty quick.
The patient in the very first car is complaining of knee pain. Whenever on the back bumper of the ambulance, if you can have the medics come up here.
brakes are smoking.
I feel like I've been stopped by this one before. It's definitely not timed right. I know my brakes are probably hot right now. Hopefully my load's okay.
2 miles ahead, take ramp to I-65 North.
That just might be that. Yeah, white walls on
1
that
mile
truck.
ahead, take ramp to I-65 North.
I like that. My brakes are squeaking. I hate that crap. This motorcyclist guy is going to wait till the last minute to get over, I guess. Oh, he's just going to disregard the cones. Wow, man. You're not really making bikers like you really cool. You know, giving whatever.
Point 3 miles ahead, take ramp to I-65 North.
That's unreal. Alright. What's the idea, Stan? Skip.
Any document that has legal implications. The president signs every executive order. He signs every proclamation. He signs pretty much every document that is needed for the president's signature, with the exception of maybe some letters to children. From what we have heard and seen, that was not the case in the previous administration, and the president is raising good questions that are worth looking into. Peter.
Good questions worth looking into. Here's more from Peter Doocy. June 24th. It's confirmed that those involved, this is Wall Street Aids writing this, it's confirmed those involved with the Biden auto pen scandal will meet in a closed-door meeting with Congress. The whole thing done in secret. Remember, Peter Doocy only found one signature, may have actually been signed by Biden in 4 years. The FBI should have arrested them all. Watch this.
In fact, if you look, Peter Doocy here outside the West Wing of the White House, and there's rarely a good reason to bring a prop to a White House.
5.3 miles ahead.
But
take exit
this
259A
afternoon,
to I-80
after
West.
spending a couple hours going through justice.gov with a color printer, I had an idea. There is one that looks different. It looks authentic. In fact, if you look at the last name, it almost looks like the president's having a hard time spelling his last name there.
Very interesting props if you want to bring them to my office later so I can take a closer look.
Joe Biden was the president. He signed so many different things. Why was the one thing he signed the day before he left so messy? Peter Doocy here outside the West Wing.
Because that's the one he actually touched. June 18th, Democrats are dead wrong. The auto pen cannot be used if the president does not direct it.
There's no else. A number
Here is the Oversight Project in a committee hearing on the Hill. Mr. Theodore Wald speaking.
A number of your colleagues on the Democrat side have said, well, there's an OLC opinion here. We don't need to talk anymore. There's an OLC opinion. It says you can use the auto pen. The opening paragraph of that OLC opinion says you can use the auto pen, but only when the president directs that you do so under his decision-making power. Right? It is very clear again and again that the president actually has to make the decision. That cannot be delegated to a staffer or an advisor. And there's no indication here that anyone other than staff were making these decisions.
Exactly, because Joe Biden was cognitively impaired. The entire world saw it. So how could he approve anything? We're not done. It gets deeper. Here we have July 2nd, breaking news. Auto pen scandal. Unelected officials Mike Donald, Steve Bruschetti, Bruce Reed, Anthony Bernal, First Lady Jill Biden, and Anthony Tomasini ran the country while the president was incapacitated. Pardons for Hunter Biden, Adam Schiff, and Anthony Fauci now all questioned. Here is Byron Donalds, Representative Byron Donalds on Fox Business.
We can listen to what Axios reporter Alex Thompson had to say about the inner circle controlling Biden at the end of his term.
The people that were in charge were Mike Donilon, Steve Bruschetti, Bruce Reed, Anthony Bernal, the First Lady's chief of staff, the First Lady, and Annie Tomasini. Those are the people that saw him the most and that had the most control over what he was doing and his day-to-day.
Well, clearly, Congressman, he is naming names. And we have the Washington Post columnist Sally Quinn accusing former First Lady of elder abuse. What do you say to that, Congressman? Elder abuse.
It is elder abuse. It is. There's no doubt about that. And all of these officials that were in the Biden White House, as far as I'm concerned, they need to come in front of the Oversight Committee because questions need to be answered. Last thing I will say on this is, depending on when the president truly was not in control of his mental faculties, a lot of the stuff that he did as president, in my view, should be invalidated. And the reason why is because you can't use an auto pen to run the country. It has to be from the mental capabilities and the physical capabilities of the person elected to be commander-in-chief. And so if Joe Biden could not execute the duties of his office, then why are we living under a lot of the decisions that was made by the Biden White House? So there's a lot of investigations that need to occur on this matter. This is a major scandal, in my view, the biggest one in presidential history. We can now put Watergate to bed because the auto pen is now in front of us.
The auto pen is in front of us. Okay, Joe Biden's doctor. Wait till you see what he did today. But first, here is the White House staffer who was really, the Kyle Becker writes, here is the White House staffer who was really running the Biden presidency via auto pen. Neera Tanden. Nobody elected her. Most people don't even know her name. America is screwed if there's no accountability. This is one of the biggest scandals in U.S. history. Now watch how she answers this question. See you walk away? Watch this.
2 miles ahead, take exit 259A to I-80 West.
I just spoke with the House Oversight Committee, majority of minority council. I answered every question, was pleased to discuss my public service, and
I was pleased to discuss my public service.
It was a thorough process, and glad I answered every question.
Was there effort to disguise President Biden's condition?
Absolutely not.
And that's the end of that. Was there an effort, the reporter says, an effort to disguise President Biden's condition?
Purpose, and it was a thorough process, and glad I answered every question.
Was there effort to disguise President Biden's condition?
Absolutely not.
And then leaves. Wow. That was a short press conference.
I love it. I love it. They implicate themselves. Now, here's what happened today. Check this out. This, real Robert posted this 7 hours ago. This is Kevin O'Connor, Joe Biden's White House doctor. He has pleaded the Fifth and refused to testify in a closed-door House hearing.
1 mile ahead, take exit 259A
Joe
to
Biden's
I-80
doctor
West.
just pled the Fifth. Do you understand what that means? He's facing charges of perjury in violation of Federal Statute 18 U.S.C. 1621, tampering with evidence for altering, destroying, concealing, or falsifying evidence in violation of 18 U.S.C. 1519, racketeering in violation of 18 U.S.C. 1961-1968, conspiracy to defraud the United States government in violation of 18 U.S.C. 371. This is him.
Are you Dr. O'Connor?
New York Post. Biden's doctor gives interview to Post after wandering past White House briefing room.
Are you Dr. O'Connor?
How's the president's health?
0.3 miles ahead,
It is?
take exit
Are you going to come
259A
to the
to
briefing room
I-80
to address
West.
us? Probably not. Could that change before the end of his term? And how is his mental cognition?
Take exit 259A
It's
to
excellent.
I-80
Is there
West.
a reason you didn't perform a cognitive test on him?
Yeah, he's here every day.
He's good every day. And what about the speculation about Parkinson's disease or a related condition? Dr. O'Connor, is there anything to that speculation that there might be something related to Parkinson's that he has?
He's good.
Okay. And the specialist visit to the White House, does that have anything to do with that concern?
Yeah, he's here 3 times. Yeah, that letter was fair.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, so this video was clearly taken during the Biden administration. I know that walkway, that pathway all too well. I've walked it up and down, past those white barriers there.
Ooh, damn. Fuck this road.
He may have exited. There's a door on the other side from the that goes out of the White House. On the other side of that little white area there. On the other side of that white door, the white wall, there's a Secret Service booth. There's doors that go to they call them palm doors, and those palm doors take you out to the South Lawn, where Marine One takes off. President Trump often, or whoever the president.
$10 for internet? You're crazy.
Sudden slowdown within the next 3 miles. Please use caution.
10 devices all at
Jesus
once.
Christ.
Even where it seems impossible.
Okay, I'm gonna mute the video. Look at the direction he's walking. He's in an exit pathway out. And look at all the people out there. Okay. Now right there, boom. to show you something here. I'll put it in slow motion
11.5
because this is
miles
cool.
ahead. Use the left 4 lanes to
super
stay
slow.
on I-80 West Tri-State Tollway.
Right on the other side of that fence, look at all those people. That is a massive amount of press. He's looking at that group and going, my God, how am I going to get through this? I've just been identified, and I'm getting hammered about Joe Biden's cognitive decline. Now, keep in mind, this is during the Biden administration. When we get to what happened today when he pled the fifth, when he's panicking, he's seeing that huge group of people. He's got to navigate through that mess just to get out of the White House. And what does he do? He sees it. I mean, that's a lot of people. That's a busy, busy day. I can feel it. I've been on those grounds on days like that. I'm not sure exactly what the date was of this, but it's clearly when, after the fact, after the questions were raised about and he's just been identified by one. The minute, so what happens when we're on the ground at the White House? Because we sit there and we wait, we're animals waiting to pounce on our prey. We wait for a member of the administration to come out so we can lunge and ask the questions. Of course,
Slow down within the
I'm
next
there.
3 miles. Please use
I
No
do
shit.
support our president. I support the MAGA America First agenda. So I'm not going to necessarily be pouncing on these members of the administration. But you get what I'm saying, right? He sees all those people. He knows he's walking into a potential den of reporters that are about to pounce. He's like, no way, I'm not walking that direction. What does he do? He turns around, walks the other direction. The reporter continues to badger him. Amazing to see this footage, especially from the context of where I've been, what I've seen, what I've participated in. So what happened? What happened today? Biden doctor, Give Me Liberty, posted this 5 hours ago. Biden doctor Kevin O'Connor's response during House deposition adds more fuel to the fire of cover-up, pleading the fifth might be compelled to testify or negotiate an immunity deal, a good omen for invalidation and rollback of Otto Pence action. Think about that. First of all, he pled the fifth. He doesn't want to say anything that could incriminate him. So what is he a part of? He's part of the biggest cover-up in American history. The cognitive decline of a president. Staffers taking over the auto pen and just firing off executive
It's almost like you should be going the speed limit. Whoa.
destroying this country. Probably it's the direction of
That red Volvo's just running that SUV off the road.
and others.
Caught that live, I believe.
You might be
Damn.
called to testify or negotiate any deal. Here we have Representative James Comer says Democrats and the media know there was a cover-up when it comes to Biden's cognitive decline. We're bringing people in, and the media's not saying a word. The Democrats aren't saying a word. They know there was a cover-up, and the media knows it.
I feel like muting and yelling at that dude if I see that fucker again.
And already folks pretending that nothing happened.
We're on the 53-minute mark.
Okay, so
Clip that shit later.
I have this. Present this.
That's why you don't be speeding through here, man. He's probably got no radio. Not paying attention to his GPS because there's a slowdown up here.
PM 70925. See who didn't appear at all when subpoenaed. Biden's
I think it's this guy right here. No, it's not him. Where'd he go? He must have got off, maybe.
President Joe Biden's former White House physician refused to, on Wednesday, to answer questions as part of the House Republican investigation into Biden's health office.
I didn't see the company. I know it's a red Volvo, though. That's ridiculous.
Republicans on the Oversight Committee
Dude is going 60 plus in a 55.
Mental fitness as president. They claim some policies carried out during Biden's term through the use of the White House auto pen may be illegitimate if it's proven the Democrat was mentally.
They got people on going on the shoulder over here. That's ridiculous, man.
Joe
People are
Biden's
crazy.
freaking doctor pleading the fifth. He won't even go. He won't even speak. Because he knows he would get screwed if he opened his mouth. He knows the entire House of Cards would collapse. Do you understand the implications here? Biden has strongly denied that he was not in the right state of mind at any point while in office, calling the claims ridiculous and false. David Schertler, one of O'Connor's lawyers, said the doctor had no choice but to invoke his Fifth Amendment rights in testimony before the committee, citing both O'Connor's responsibility to protect patient privacy as a doctor and the Justice Department's ongoing investigation into Biden's use of model pen. James Comer of Kentucky said O'Connor's refusal to testify made it clear there was a conspiracy. End of story. Right there. Boom. If it's a mere transparency, but O'Connor would rather conceal the truth, Comer said in an official statement. Witnesses routinely invoke their Fifth Amendment rights in testimony to Congress. Allies of President Trump, for example, invoked their rights when refusing to testify at the committees that investigated the January 6th attack on the Capitol. Of course, this is AOL, an article from AOL. They gotta bring up January 6th. Sucks. Testimony from nearly a dozen former Biden aides as he conducts an investigation. Chief of Staff Mark Twain, Jeff Zients, former senior advisors Mike Donilon and Nina Dunn, former Deputy Chief of Staff Bruce Reed, former Counselor to the President Steve Buscemi, former Deputy Chief of Staff Ann Tomasini, and a former Assistant to the President Ashley Williams. Now, former Chief of Staff, former First Lady Jill Biden. Trump's White House has waived executive privilege, a right that protects many communications between the President and staff of Congress and, of course, for almost all their senior staffers. All of those senior staffers. I just mentioned President Trump. Guess what? You don't have executive privilege here. Revoking their executive privilege. So that's often a line of defense. I have executive privilege. I don't have to testify or whatever. Trump just nuked it. Trump's White House has waived executive privilege as a right that protects many communications between the President and staff of Congress, of course, for almost all of those senior staffers. That clears the way for those staffers to discuss the conversation with Biden while he was president. Representative Robert Garcia of California, the top Democrat on the oversight panel, dismissed the Republicans' investigation as a waste of time.
One guy's driving on the shoulder. I'm not even sure if that's a lane or not.
To lower costs for American families and conducting oversight of Trump's corruption from the center obsessed with the past.
Oh shit.
Okay, I guess it is.
Oh shit.
Maybe they forgot about the big man.
I don't know if the camera caught that, but that car is driving on the shoulder almost hit him.
To lower costs anymore because how much money is going to come from that big dude?
What is that guy doing?
How much? Yeah, so
Got a gray Honda driving on the shoulder almost hit that bobtail.
We're obsessed with past. No, we're obsessed with outing the corruption within the Biden administration.
Man, where do these people get off though? Like driving like that, it's insane.
If that auto pen was in fact used, as we have shown in countless reports here,
it's all the time up here in this
even President Trump has pointed out that you can look at these documents and you can see the anchor point for which the auto pen has to.
I caught the red Volvo almost very much ran a red SUV off the road on my camera.
President Trump has brought that up. So you can go back to every single executive order, hold a paper, and find out every single executive order. Peter Doocy, he went through document after document at justice.gov, and what did he find? You can only find one document that appeared to have been actually signed by Joe Biden. That's how deep this goes. Real Robertson, June 23rd, and this, one of the greatest criminal conspiracies ever perpetuated against the American people. They started using the auto pen on day 5 of Biden's installation into the White House, and by June 2021, its use had skyrocketed.
Excuse
In
me.
other words, an effing vegetable so incapacitated they had automate the presidency while pretending everything was normal. This was not political theater. It was coordinated deception, a criminal conspiracy carried out by an unelected handler in the government, Congress, and the intelligence community. Let's go to this clip from the committee hearing.
I think I caught that gray Honda almost hit that bobtail on the shoulder too on the camera. We'll see though.
Action he takes. The auto pen. Again, this is Mr. Thomas Wold from the auto pen hearing.
And is a device that signs the president's signature to a document. The oversight, when the president signs, he communicates his assent and endorsement of the action he takes. The auto pen is a device that signs the
I
president's
feel like the auto
signature to a
pen
document.
should have some type of legal process to it, some type of authorization. Kind of like a key or password that only the president knows if they were to use AutoPen. But shouldn't have to use AutoPen. Anyway. I don't know what happened to my stream here I'm watching. Stream decided to freeze up on me that I was listening to.
Check this out. This was the day before the Fifth Amendment was invoked by Joe Biden's document. Jim Jordan speaking to Fox Business, Barney and Company.
House Judiciary Committee Chair and member of the Oversight Committee, Jim Jordan, joins me now. Good to see you, Congressman. So what specifically, what's the one question you would ask Dr. O'Connor above all others?
Well, I'm not sure he's going to, as I should point out, I'm not sure he's going to show up, and I think if he does, he's probably going to still try to assert some kind of privilege. I think that the fundamental question is, okay, doctor, what was really going on? We all saw it. The American people saw it. We know what we saw. I mean, everyone understands. Even the left that defended him forever now understands that, he wasn't up to, that President Biden wasn't up to the task. I mean, Jake Tapper, who yelled at people who they come on his show and said something, now has written a book, made money telling us he was fine, now he's making money telling us he wasn't fine, for goodness sake. So everyone understands what went on. I do think, though, short of a whistleblower coming forward, it's going to be hard to prove the whole auto thing, because I think everyone's going to assert that, staff said, talk to the so-and-so, and then we sign the documents.
Jeez, that's Honda sedan, dude. Acting crazy, man.
What he's gonna do, as Isa pointed out.
What did he do? He fled. He fled freaking death. Can't make this up, folks. Here is James Comer.
I feel like I need to put this on landscape mode. This shit's happening out here, man.
I'll tell you, this is totally different than what I.
That's what I'm gonna do. I'll be right back.
Every time we would bring someone in for not saying a word,
there we go.
The Democrats aren't saying a word. We had that
they're not saying a word. Have you heard any mainstream
2 miles ahead, use the left 4 lanes to stay on I-80 West Tri-State Tollway.
That transcribed interview, 4 hours of NERA, and they didn't say an absolute word. They only asked questions for about 5 minutes. They know there was a cover-up. The media knows it. The Tapper book went into great...
Catch more detail here. Wide angle.
5 hours
Or landscape mode.
NERA 10. That was the woman.
Especially through this traffic, man. People are wild over here near Chicago.
That transcribed interview, 4 hours of NERA, and they didn't say an absolute word. They only asked questions for about 5 minutes. They know there was a cover-up. The media knows it. The Tapper book went into great detail about the cover-up, and I think they know this book by Jean-Pierre.
We're about to be in Illinois.
More explosive than the Tapper book because it reportedly names names, whereas Tapper's book had unnamed sources. So we're going to bring all these people in, and we're going to
1 mile ahead, use the left 4 lanes to stay on I-80 West Tri-State Tollway.
Shots in the White House, because I think we all know that Joe Biden
More Volvo Mafia
was making the decisions
coming through here speeding.
about the auto pen. Who was given the authority to use the auto pen? Did Joe Biden know what his name was being signed to? So we've got a lot of work to do, but so far we're not facing much. I'll tell you, this is totally...
Well, they're now facing opposition by him pleading the fifth. The doctor pleading the fifth. I want to go back to this Jim Jordan clip because there was something he said at the end.
Specifically, what's the made money telling us he was fine, now he's making money. Do you think, though, short of a whistleblower coming forward,
23 miles ahead, use the left 4 lanes to stay on I-80 West Tri-State Tollway.
Short of a whistleblower, it's going to be hard to... That's what he's saying. Okay.
Because I think everyone's
Use the left 4 lanes to stay on I-80 West Tri-State Tollway.
And he's the chief of staff communicator and so and so.
Okay, chief of staff said yes.
Oh, look at this truck. Way up there. I don't know if the camera caught that with the wide angle, but the dude didn't want to get off this exit. Oh, shit.
Is there a card you have to swipe to have authorization to use the auto pen? What's the chain of command? You can't just pull out a freaking auto pen machine and
wow.
Exert the president's executive authority on paper. Is it that easy? Is it that easy to just pick up an auto pen machine, stick a piece of paper in, and just type something up and then say press a button and then Joe Biden's signature just shows up? I mean, if it's that easy, then we got a serious freaking problem in this country. I mean, that machine is as good as gold with the power that it possesses. It possesses all the power of the presidency in one little machine. So where is that chain of command? Where is that chain of custody? Where is that chain of communications authorizing its use? He says a whistleblower needs to come forward. Comey says that Karine Jean-Pierre's book is going to...
Oh, this truck's got a blown tire on his trailer.
It only names unnamed sources. Karine Jean-Pierre, she had to play part in this cover-up too. So she's going to get ready to throw everybody under the bus. Because she doesn't want to get hung out to dry. So she's getting in front of this thing already with her book. And if she names names, because the book hasn't come out yet, but if she actually names the names, now you've got another paper trail to follow.
We signed the documents. Unless you have a whistleblower, I think it's going to be tough to prove that. But we'll see what happens. We won't know until he gets here tomorrow.
Yeah, well, like I said, what did he do? The guy pled the fifth. So we've got some serious stuff going on here. This was when the doctor was subpoenaed. If O'Connor ignores the subpoena, he's looking at prison time. It looks like he didn't ignore it. He showed up and pled the fifth.
Fine. House Oversight Committee Comer has subpoenaed former President Biden's personal physician. Dr. Kevin O'Connor refused to appear for a voluntary interview, and the Republicans want him to answer questions as part of the investigation into Biden's physical and mental condition while in office, and also this alleged cover-up of his decline. Congressman Jim Jordan explaining why they're pressing for answers from Biden's inner circle.
There was serious talk about the 25th Amendment. There were actions taken that Joe Biden didn't know what was going on, and people went ahead and did things and made decisions. I think we're going to need a whistleblower, but you can't get that until you start this ball rolling and start
I'm
the
gonna visit that
investigation
little
Pam
rest stop
Bondi's
one
gonna
day.
do, and that Chairman Comer and the Oversight Committee have undertaken as well.
Well, let's hope that Pam Bondi doesn't screw this thing up. If you got value for this report,
Yeah, get on over there, trucker. Get on over there, yeah.
So let's take a step back, because this is not just about signatures. It's about the legitimacy of every law, every pardon, every executive action taken in Joe Biden's name.
That's right.
When Dr. Kevin O'Connor pleads the Fifth rather than confirm Biden's mental capacity, he is not protecting patient privacy. He is protecting conspirators from prosecution. Think about it. Hunter's pardon, Fauci's pardon, Schiff's pardon, all potentially invalid. 4 years of policy made by unelected staffers while America sleepwalked through a puppet presidency. Neera Tanden and her cabal ran your country with a rubber stamp while the real president couldn't find his way off a stage. Yes, this is bigger than Watergate, bigger than any scandal in our history. So here's my question. Should every Biden-era executive order be immediately reversed? Yes or no? Drop your comments below. And Patriots, you can gear up with our exclusive merch. We even have a President Otto Pen t-shirt. Yes, we do. Shop.nextnewsnetwork.com. Just go check it out. I think you're really going to like it. You can see the little picture of it up there on the screen. That doesn't do it justice. Go there, trigger a liberal, wear it with pride, because when the government's fake, at least your shirt
Stay on I-80 West
is real.
as it bears right.
Okay, we got a super chat that has just come through. Curio23. What does a nut say when it sneezes? Cashew. Man, Curio, you're dropping them dad jokes all day long. And Tom B420, thanks Gary and gang, and 3 for life. Salt is flowing. 20 spot right there in the Alex Jones was right jar. Okay, let's see where you guys were. The answer for our trivia question, Dwight Eisenhower was the answer.
I would have thought Harry Truman.
1 mile ahead. Stay on I-80 West as it bears right.
Dwight Eisenhower first authorized auto pen use while recovering from his heart.
Look, these advertisements are freezing up the freaking stream I'm trying to watch. It must be definitely a bug.
0.3 miles ahead. Stay on I-80 West as it bears right.
This, of course, is one of the busier train stations in the city, and whether it's
Stay on
congestion
I-80
pricing or
West as it bears
subway
right.
crime.
What self-defense items can you legally bring on a plane? Most people think you're not allowed to
23
carry
miles
anything,
ahead.
but that's
Take
not
exit
true. And while the
132
TSA
to
doesn't tell you
US
which
50
items
South
are
Chicago
allowed,
Street.
here's a good rule of thumb. Anything that isn't classified as a weapon. This includes, number 1, tactical pens. As long as they're not sharp or heavy, you should be fine. Number 2, non-tactical flashlights. What does this mean? It means no sharp edges, no shock bezel. Above all, it must be under 7 inches long. Number 3, alarms and whistles.
Overthrowing governments, 1950s CIA sounds about right. That's just an educated guess. What's yours? Answer the poll in the comments of the chat. All right, we got some news to break. What if I told you there's a government agency spending your tax dollars to overthrow governments, including
Which U.S.
potentially
agency was
all
caught funding coups
not in some
in Guatemala
dictators.
and Iran in the 1950s?
$250 million funneled to one man's network. Riots organized with humanitarian funds. Congressional oversight blocked because, quote, people will die.
You said people are gonna die?
If anyone finds out, what happens next? Even the CIA was locked out of the investigation. Now, this is not a spy novel. This is actually happening right now with your money. And when you hear what former officials are openly threatening to do to our republic, you understand why they got shut down. The truth is finally emerging. So keep watching. And as we age, our body's collagen production declines, leading to visible signs of aging like wrinkles and sagging skin, crow's feet, and smile lines. By our 40s, collagen levels drop significantly and continue declining about 1% yearly. And that's why I use Ageless Multi-Collagen, 5 key collagen types from 4 premium sources, hydrolyzed for easy absorption, no clumping, no odor, just smooth blending into your morning routine. 0 GMOs, that's why Arf Hey Junior loves it. No artificial ingredients, no gluten, no antibiotics, no hormones, just clean collagen support. So visit healthwithgary.com for 51% off, free shipping, 60-day money-back guarantee, and lifetime health coaching. Plus, every order feeds hungry children. Visit healthwithgary.com. You'll find it linked down below. So what is the big news today? Oh, USAID is back in the news. What happened? We haven't heard much about them lately. Well, guess what? USAID. The news posted this 10 hours ago. If you need any more proof that Elon and Trump were right to dismantle USAID, again, this is why we need to get Trump and Elon back at the table working together. If you needed more proof that Elon and Trump were right to dismantle USAID, look no further. Former USAID officials are plotting to overthrow the democratically elected government here in the United States, and they admit it openly. They write, we unleashed these madmen on the world, and now they've come home to destroy us. He posts this. USAID officials who undermine democracies across the globe admit they're targeting democracy here in America. Former USAID officials are actively organizing a color revolution to overthrow President Trump and his administration in retaliation for his decision to shut down their agency. The former officials explain they are reapplying the skills and knowledge they built up over decades to undermine the democratically elected government here in America. They point out that it was foolish for Trump to release thousands of insurgents trained in color revolutions into the general population.
Yeah, let's get
Trump
on
fired
this.
them, now they're
Speeding a
plotting
little
to
fast.
stop him.
Yeah, get that ram going, man. Emerging on the highway.
I'll say this again. USAID explicitly organized riots that blocked even the CIA's top analysts from Congress from asking questions because people will die if anyone finds out.
People are gonna die?
Yeah, Georgia. Here's President Trump. This was posted 6 hours ago, talking about USAID by Rapid Response 47, the official White House media response channel.
Closed, and trade seems to be a foundation that I've been able to settle a lot of these disputes, like as an example, India and Pakistan, Kosovo, Serbia. I said, you guys are going to fight, we're not going to trade. And we seem to be quite successful in doing that. To that end, we have closed the USAID group to eliminate waste, fraud, and abuse, which was tremendous waste, fraud, and abuse. And we're working tirelessly to forge new economic opportunities involving both the United States and many African nations. There's great economic potential in Africa, like few other places in many ways. In the long run, this will be far more effective and sustainable and beneficial than anything else that we can be doing together.
We have closed USAID to eliminate waste, fraud, and abuse. And now they are coming back. Here is Senator Eric Schmidt. So, going back to the news post. He was quote tweeting Senator Eric Schmidt. He's quoting, Senator Eric Schmidt.
Is he quoting Eric Schmidt?
Senator Eric Schmidt, official
Okay.
count of United States Senator Eric Schmidt of Missouri. Quote, if you stop letting us run America, we'll start a color revolution and overthrow your democratically elected government. These people are making the case for their own firing better than we ever could. Posted July 7th, 2025. Trump fired them, now they're plotting to stop him. Former USAID and State Department officials worried about the future of democracy in America say they're actively organizing to resist Trump inside and outside the government. Now, it's going to be hard for you to read along, so I will read it to you. These are the images that he attached to his post. Some of the democracy-building experts President Trump fired this year from the U.S. Agency for International Development and State Department are now reapplying the skills and knowledge they built over decades to undermine Trump's power. For years, these officials were stationed across the globe, actively supporting opposition movements in autocratic nations. Now they've got time, a network of former colleagues, and a growing sense of moral indignation. Think about that. All these people just got fired. They're pissed. They know how to overthrow governments. And what better use of their time, because they got a lot of free time now, than a revenge mission against President Trump firing. It's like a shadow CIA. Quote, take it from those of us who work in authoritarian countries. We've become one, said a currently employed federal official who spoke to notice on a condition of anonymity. They were so quick to disband AID, the group that supposedly instigates color revolutions, but they've done a very foolish thing. You've just released a bunch of well-trained individuals into your population. If you kept our offices going and had us play solitaire in the office, it might have been safer to keep your regime. Do you see what this is? This is a current employed federal official. I mean, listen to what he says. Trump and Elon did a foolish thing. Released a bunch of well-trained individuals into your population. If you kept our offices going and had us play solitaire, you might be able to keep your regime. Listen to that threat. Former official tells Nuttis holding workshops on a tactic called non-cooperation. They're building a network of government workers willing to engage in even minor acts of rebellion in the office, and they're planting the seeds of what they hope will become a nationwide general strike. Now, we saw this before in the first Trump administration. Members of the bureaucracy, slow-walking policy, taking time to execute the president's vision. But this is something much, much, much worse. You have fired federal employees from USAID. They have a chip on their shoulder. They have an axe to grind. And they're well educated in how to overthrow governments. And they're going to turn that education and that action right back on the very government that they used to work for in the administration that fired them. Former officials tell Notice they're holding workshops on a technique called non-cooperation, building a network of workers willing to engage in minor acts of rebellion. See, these all, if you have one person doing a minor act of rebellion, is one thing. When you have a coordinated effort of hundreds, if not thousands, it can create severe bottlenecks for the America First policy to proceed. Some of the informal network of Trump opponents are sharing an old CIA pamphlet with the allies who still work with the government it's called Simple Sabotage. So, did you hear what I said from this article? They are using CIA, I just said it, it's like a CIA shadow government, shadow actions. But they're actually, yes, right here, I didn't read this yet. They're using an old CIA pamphlet. They're using CIA tactics. Widespread practice of simple sabotage. Fucking A.
My biggest mistake was relying entirely on ovulation tests to get pregnant. I found out that traditional ovulation tests measure only.
What? Where's he? Where's all his money? What about all those riots that just erupted all across the country? How much of Soros' money was behind that? On June 11th, this was posted. George Soros received $260 million from USAID, the number one sponsor of terror on the planet. That's what Rico Robert calls them. And used the funds to spread chaos, incite riots, promote open borders, topple governments, promote terrorism, and destroy justice systems around the world, including here in the United States, all while profiting without spending a single penny of his own. All uncovered by Elon Musk.
Hungarian Donald Trump claims Hungarian American billionaire George Soros is responsible for interfering in the political landscape of many countries. The account claims that Soros used a hefty $260 million from USAID to spread chaos, change government, and pursue personal gain in countries such as India, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, and Ukraine. And this comes as the Trump administration continues to freeze USAID's budget, describing its initiative as misaligned with American interests and accusing them of destabilizing global peace.
Well, many ideas, but look, he's done a great job. Look at all the fraud that he's found in this USAID. It's a disaster. What the people, radical left lunatics, they have things.